In the days when the moon was still young and the earth was closer to the voices of the ancestors, there lived a man called Udo-Abasi. Udo-Abasi was sharp of mind, but his wisdom was like a hoe that only dug holes for others. It never planted seeds for himself. The elders say the same tongue that builds a house can also set it on fire. Udo-Abasi's tongue was skilled at twisting words into nets, and many had fallen into his traps. Now, in that land, there was a chief named Epeyon. Chief Epeyon was rich, not only in cows and yams, but also in respect. The people said his shadow alone was enough to shelter the weak, but where others saw honor, Udo-Abasi saw opportunity. One evening, he whispered to himself, "If I can trick the poor, why not trick the chief? If I can fool the children of the land, why not fool the father of the land?" And so we began to weave his mischief like a spider spinning a web. He sat under the baobab tree and planned. He said, "I will paint my face with chalk and wear rags. I will march into the palace and say, 'I am a messenger of the gods.' I will demand 3 fat cows and 10 bags of yam, and the chief, in his fear, will give them all to me." Udo-Abasi laughed to himself. "Even the gods will envy me tonight." The next morning, before the cock crowed twice, Udo-Abasi carried out his scheme. With chalk upon his face and rags upon his body, he stormed the palace and declared, "I am the messenger of the gods. They demand a sacrifice from Chief Epeyon, 3 cows and 10 bags of yam, or misfortune shall fall upon this land." The gods trembled, for fear makes even the strongest man forget his own shadow. They let him pass, and before Chief Epeyon, he bowed. Now, Chief Epeyon was no fool. The elders say, "The ear that listens to every drumbeat will hear the sound of deceit." He listened to Udo-Abasi's thunderous claims and smiled quietly. He said only, "If it is truly the wish of the gods, then so it shall be." Udo-Abasi's heart leaped like a fish thrown back into the river. He left the palace, grinning, already tasting yam in his mouth. That night, he tied ropes around the cows and piled the yams upon his back. He laughed in the darkness, whispering, "The gods are generous indeed. Tonight, their blessings taste like meat and yam." But what Udo-Abasi did not know was this. Chief Epeyon had already sent his guards, Udosen and Effiong, to follow him. Just as Udo-Abasi was about to escape with his stolen prize, strong hands seized him. The guards said, "So these are the gods you serve, Udo-Abasi, the gods of greed." The next morning, the talking drum called the village together. Men, women, and children filled the square until it shook with murmurs. Chief Epeyon stood tall and said, "People of the land, this man sought to deceive not only me but also the gods. Tell me, what does a man deserve who tries to plant lies in the soil of truth?" The crowd roared, "Shame! Shame!" Udo-Abasi fell to his knees, crying, "Mercy, chief. Hunger blinded me. Greed carried me away." But Chief Epeyon raised his hand, and silence fell like a blanket. He said, "The land is generous to the honest, but to the thief it gives nothing. Yet punishment without wisdom is wasted. From today, Udo-Abasi shall walk in the village farms, and every harvest, his first basket shall go to the widows and the orphans. In this way, he will repay the people he tried to cheat." The villagers nodded, for the elders say, "The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth." But Udo-Abasi was not cast out, he was taught. And so the trickster became the hardest worker in the village. His hands Once skilled in deception, now tilled the soil, and Udo-Abasi learned that cunning may fill the belly once, but honesty fills it forever. Children, remember this: you may deceive the eyes of men, but you cannot deceive the eyes of the earth. This is a tale of Udo-Abasi and Chief Epenyong, a tale carried on the wind to remind us that wealth without truth is like water carried in a basket. It will always slip away.